Oh, we're rolling now?
Alright, so Spectre Senence here with Spectre Wile. Another Spectre Studio BatRep. We're going to do X-Wing again. This time we want to have a little fun. I went out and bought another fire spray and painted up as Kath Scarlet because she's one of my favorites of the fire spray ships. But we want to have a little fun with that, so I brought Boba Fett along. That ended up pretty much with all their gizzies, about 100 points. I thought it'd be awesome if we chased Han Solo. So Spectre Wile has volunteered to play that theme. So don't really flame us for our list, because we really just did it for fun, just to kind of bring some fun stuff, but really try to deck them out as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. The iconic crew of the Millennium Falcon, Han Solo's the pilot, Chewbacca co-pilot, Luke in the gunner seat, eating up a ton of my 100 points.
Yeah.
And then to fill in the list, I just brought in Dutch Vander, the named Y-Wing pilot, for a little extra added shenanigans, action-wise and punch-wise. But really, the whole thing is about Boba Fett bringing in his backup to go after Han Solo. So it's time for some carbonite avoidance.
Yeah, Jabba's got the price on his head, so we're gonna see if we can cash in on that. We're gonna do a little bit of style, so we're gonna like really kind of play it, and then me and Spectre Wile are gonna come back to this kind of situation and kind of recap what's going on, and then kind of give you an overall visual of the thing. Try to keep it quick, see how you guys like that compared to the last one. If you saw Spectre Wile take on Spectre Senence, and going through that length, we're gonna try to do this quick and simple.
Yeah, and of course now I'm not outnumbered like 3 to 1, so
right.
I have a better chance on this one.
So we'll see how it goes.
So we've taken Kath Scarlet here with her upgrades, and I've taken Boba Fett. So just 2 Imperial ships, bounty hunters, to chase Spectre Wile's Millennium Falcon with Han Solo and his upgrades, and he will be having his partner Dutch Vander, pretty good also his upgrades.
Alright, so this is our placement. Dutch had to set up first, then Kath, and then Boba Fett, and Han followed. So we have a little bit of the asteroids, the custom ones that I have made. So this is where pretty much our Imperial forces are looking at, as much as they are Imperial, being Boba Fett and Han and Dutch ready to go through the asteroids. Alright, and we'll come back to see how things go. Alright, turn 1 has finished. Kath and Boba Fett have veered off to the right, trying to use the asteroid kind of as a shield. Plan is to try to get behind the Rebel force. Han went straight forward, and Vander following suit pretty close to try to hook up with him. Han was able to do a target lock on Boba Fett, fired and knocked off a shield, not having to use a single reroll for that, because he hit with all 3 shots right off the bat. So much different than Spectre Wile's last combat with a lot of his stuff. Kath, though, was able to kind of fire across, and even through the asteroid was able to hit the tail end of the Falcon. So a shield lost on each side, and now we're going to round 2. So the bounty hunters have skirted the outside. Han has dinked in, and you gotta see once again, if you've been following the other battle reports, you will see that Spectre Wile has constantly done the pilot to pilot. There's some type of Top Gun move that he likes to do all the time with his own ships. There must be something personally like to exchange with each other, but Spectre Wile has done that again.
Precision flying.
Precision flying. Alright. Alright, so we have made our turn with the bounty hunters. Kath has kind of really made the hook. Boba Fett has Kugan. Dutch has skirted the asteroid, but Han didn't. Must be downstairs doing some repairs or something like that, and he's not really paying much attention to the flying. So that's where everything is. So didn't lose a shield though, so you're good.
Must be Leia flying right now.
Yeah, but it wasn't that precision flying. You know, they did the Maverick cockpit thing, but not paying attention to asteroids apparently.
It's a 3D universe. They're flying over or under it.
Yeah, he didn't hit the asteroid, so I'll give him that. All right, ships are separating here. Let's go from right. Basically, I put Kath kind of on the run behind. She's putting a chase on Han. Ready to expose herself to really doing some shooting, but Han, with the elusiveness and the boost, got out of her fire arc. So it was a nice little maneuver there. Dutch did his Kuyagon, so you can see he's stressed. And we have Boba Fett on the outskirts, who also just did a small move and cleared his stress. This is probably the biggest game of chase I have ever played in X-Wing so far, with almost very little going on in the first 3-4 rounds. What do you think?
Definitely a lot of flying going on, but it's only 2 ships versus 2 ships, so there's plenty of table to hide around in.
Very cool. Very true. All right, let's see how things continue. All right, so we've gotten this round, and I'll put up what the rounds are because I'm not really tracking very well. However, so the ships have kind of made their move. Kath is looking like she's going to hit an asteroid, as well as Dutch. They're flying by each other, kind of looking at each other, not really paying attention to the asteroids. So they've got a little bit of situation with there. Han pulled a quick little move, but Spectre Wile realized that he was in long range for both bounty hunter ships. So did his little elusive card, boosted, got close. So now he was out of range of Kath, so that plan worked. Then his secondary real plan was to really unload with cluster missiles on Boba Fett. And as usual with Spectre Wile, he'll tell you that as well as he plans things, the dice do not cooperate. So he only removed, with the cluster missile, one shield.
Out of 6 dice, 1 shield.
And what happened when Boba Fett returned fire?
He removed the rest of Han's shields, all 5, with his return fire from his weapon.
Yeah, so...
Or all 4.
Yeah, so Boba Fett hit with all 4 of his at close range because he had a focus on it, and Han was not able to dodge it. So now the Falcon is the first ship without shields right now. So we'll see how things play out now. Interesting. Alright, so we've done some more flying around. Of course, Bubba dropped the bomb, but Han is a little bit too crafty for that. Seen that plenty of times. Didn't hit, although I rolled it, so that pretty much worked. That if Matt rolled it, he
would have just lost all 3 of the hits. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't do that. Dutch fired the ion at Kath. Gat was able to dodge that. Han has stripped the last shields of Boba Fett, so now he is the second ship with no shields. He did return fire and caused 3 damage to Han in the return fire. So the Falcon is the first ship on fire, being hit from there. So we'll see exactly what happens for the rest of the rounds. Alright, the firing has intensified. So Dutch has clipped the asteroid, so he was pretty much a sit and duck. Not able to do anything really there. Kath exposed herself and really lit into him, and he was basically he lost only a shield. She wasn't really able to be that accurate. Han fired back, put damage now on Boba Fett, so he's a little bit wounded, but Boba Fett still in turn putting more damage on Han, so he's got 5 damage total. He's got only 3 left, and things are struggling for him. We'll see how things turn out. Okay, so we did a little bit more flying around, and Han continuing to play elusive as possible, which I think has worked really well. However, Kath was able to kind of catch him through some of that shedding over there, and he had to discard Chewbacca to avoid some of that damage, but he did pick up 1 more, so he's at 6 damage there. Bubba got a little trouble himself. Dutch was able to really close in on him this time regardless. Put a critical hit on him, which turned into 2 damage, so he's a little bit in trouble right now, and they're looking to maneuver themselves into the last position of firing. Okay, so precision flying, me and Spectre Wile totally missed this opportunity. I know I did, except he did a nice little maneuver with Vander. put himself right in front of Boba Fett, and Boba Fett went right up his butt and wasn't able to do anything there. Kath trying to skirt the asteroid, and she has finally removed all her shields from bumping into asteroids. That's 3 if you've been counting. And Han basically also hit the asteroid, so he lost that shield that he got from Chewbacca. So not much else. Dutch tried to shoot Kath with an ion cannon, but she was able to dodge that. She can dodge that, but she can't dodge asteroids. Go figure. Alright, so things are still maneuvering. Kath has finally got herself off of asteroids. This little crafty move, Dutch is pretty much playing a jam session driving on Bubba. Pretty crafty little move, I gotta say, by Spectre Wile. Pretty much denying Bubba the ability to shoot him by making sure he can't clear him. And with the board so close, Bubba has no choice but stay tight on him, which is kind of a random close. So good move on that part right there. Really like that. Like seeing that. You can see the Falcon has really kind of zipped by, and we've commented that the boost putting on the Falcon is just a really big change.
Adds a lot to the maneuverability and a lot to the play of him. Definitely keeps him moving, jinking.
Yeah, so now that put the Falcon in line of Kath. Kath was able to dodge both his shot and Dutch's close. Thankfully, I put an evade on her. But she put 2 shots in there. Mercenary Copilot was going to hit a second critical 2 at long range, and 2 dodges by Spectre Wile.
Well, what you need to know about my dice is my dice will allow me to look absolutely spectacular as long as it's not a game-affecting roll. So 2 long shots, gonna be somewhere in there, I'll look awesome. I'll dodge them both. But if I have 6 shots at close range on something with 1 shield and no hull points left, I'm going to fail every single one, because it's that one critical moment when my dice just say, nope, you would look awesome if you did this, but it means you're going to win the game, so you can't do it.
Cluster missile fail. That's why we still have a game.
Last game and this game.
Let's see what happens. Okay, so basically we got more movement going on. Kath, I was still tight in this area. Kath ran right into Bubba, so she lost her action. And Boba Fett did get through Dutch, only to be slammed into by Han. So kept basically Han off him, but the 2 bounty hunters laid into Dutch's and stripped him all of his shields now. But things are pretty tight, and Dutch was able to ion Kath, so she's going to basically be stuck moving forward.
No. 2.
Oh, not 2 for the big one ships,
2
right?
for the
So
ships.
still not affecting him yet. All right, let's see what happens. All right. Unfortunately, we are locked in time. This was definitely a bounty hunter chase. You have done the job of staying eluded. I wasn't able to really do anything in catching you, but I did do a lot of damage to the Falcon, so you're definitely heading to Bespin to get some repairs.
Yeah, but we definitely went into bumper cars at the very end, trying to squeeze each other out of the fight, trying to block as many lines aside as possible and as many fire points as possible. So that turned into a close combat maneuvering as opposed to the elusive fight that we were managing to pull off at the beginning of the battle. But definitely at this point, it was just all about throwing all out, guns blazing, get as close as possible, get as many dice as possible, and it's right at the tipping point. It could go either way. If my cluster missiles hadn't failed on me completely, I might have had one of the fire sprays out of the fight by now. Very close to having both of them out, but definitely those 6 dice of cluster missiles just totally missed me. We're now going to name them CFMMs. We'll add that in later for your glossary for Spectre Studio
so children
terms.
Can't hear it, and you'll be able to look it up and get part of it.
So Spectre Wile CFMM missiles.
That's pretty much his upgrades you're going to basically find. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of issues running with 2 of the ships. They were colliding with each other pretty hard, at least because I'm tracking now only 2 ships. Dutch did a really good job at playing the really dog in the fight to kind of block maneuvering, especially once we get to the corner of the board. So good playing on that aspect there.
Yeah, I think maneuvering is my strong point of the game. So definitely, I was able to kind of pick where the ships would go, where they get their best effect. And I think the blocking Y-wing is actually a really nice little tactic. Yeah. Just kind of dogging you along 1 or 2 at a time and keeping in front of something that has to keep piling into the back of it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I was a little skeptical, but for you players out there, the heavy laser turret upgrade is 7 points. It's pretty pricey, very pricey. but it does add a lot. I found at that range 3. So if you really kind of look with that, you're really getting that extra damage to knock out those shields a little quicker. So when you get in close, you're still having that 4 capacity firepower. So I really did enjoy that, and I thought Expose really adds some more element of interest to the whole game as well.
Well, definitely with Cal throwing 5 dice on an attack,
Yeah.
definitely hard to dodge those.
Yeah, keeping it so who you're choosing to attack for. But hope you enjoyed that. This is a quick one. Remember, Spectre Wile and Spectre Senence had a longer one, so let us know where you're kind of at with these games. We can kind of keep it in that realm if we know it's going good, and we'll see you guys again on the next one.
And if you watch the one with Spectre Senence, you'll again notice that was our first one where the CFMN missiles really came in and bit me in the butt on that one. So,
yeah. Why he's calling him as such, because he's having that type of result. So, all right.
yeah.
See you guys next time.
So a new viral texting CFMM whenever you're playing X-wing, text it on your phone with your friends.
Let us know how badly those cluster missiles work for you. Comment below, subscribe to us. Let us know what you guys think, because that's what we're here to try to do, is try to entertain you, and we feel like we're really moving up in the direction of getting subscribers. So keep pushing it out there, guys, and we're going to continue to put the BatReps out there for you.
All right. Thanks for watching Spectre Wile and Spectre Senence on our X-wing battle. Look for more.